Hello, sports history fans. I'm Ross from the podcast Pigskin Tales. You're about to jump into another thrilling sports history moment, but first, let's dive into today's sponsor, just in time for the holiday season. Introducing Art of Words, the brainchild of word artist Dan Duffy from Philadelphia. Dan meticulously crafts stunning images by handwriting relevant words from some of the greatest sports moments in time. These unique budget-friendly illustrations are the perfect gift, sparking cherished memories and capturing hearts. Choose from city skylines, sports, history, and musicians to find a piece for everyone. And here's the exciting part. For that sports fanatic in your life, gift them a piece of their favorite team or player's history. Art of Words tells a compelling story. Explore collegiate stadiums, each meticulously crafted with every football victory etched into words. Or venture into baseball stadiums, handwritten with every player from the team's illustrious history. My favorite on the site is Bryce Harper 2021 MVP year. Because I'm a big stats guy, I think that's one of the coolest things ever. Check it out. Don't wait. Order a print today for yourself and your loved one this holiday season. Transform your wall into a gallery of captivating art and surprise your family and friends with a print of their own. Use code SHN15 at artofwords.com for a 15% discount on your order in November and December. Visit Art of Words, where words magically transform into stunning art, evoking cherished memories and touching the hearts of those who you care about. Again, use the code SHN15 for 15% off at artofwords.com.
The jersey number of NFL players in many cases are assigned by the team, adhering to the positional numbering restrictions afforded by the rules. However, there have been some special stories of players wearing a number per their request for meaningful reasons. In this edition, we'll explore some of the fascinating stories as to why the number fits the player, and it's all coming up in just a moment.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history on a day-to-day basis. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time. So as we come out of the tunnel of the Sports History Network, let's take the field and go no huddle through the portal of positive gridiron history with pigskindispatch.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of pigskindispatch.com. Welcome once again to the Pig Pen, your portal to positive football history. We are very excited today to be talking about some of the great jersey numbers and some of the players that wore them and some reasons why they chose their numbers. But before we do, we want to make you aware of a couple different pieces of information. First of all, you can join our newsletter. It's totally free. It's easy to sign up for. You can cancel at any time. It's found at the show notes of this very podcast or at the top of Pigskin Dispatch or jerseydispatch.com. Find out everything is going on in the Pig Pen and in the sports history world for that particular day every single morning about 6:30 a.m. in your email inbox. Also, we want to let you know that we have our first book out, The World's Greatest Pro Gridiron Team. It's out, very easy to get to. It is on Amazon. You can find it at pigskindispatch.com. Go right into the show notes, you can go find it in the show notes also, or you can go right on pigskindispatch.com and order it through there, or through your Amazon account, The World's Greatest Pro Gridiron Team by Darren L. Hayes. We're going to talk about jersey numbers today, and we seem to know a lot about jersey numbers. After all, we have a whole website about it, a Sports Jersey Dispatch podcast in jerseydispatch.com. But we're going to talk about National Football League jerseys and some of the stories of why certain players wore the numbers that they did, or maybe they currently wear them. We're going to talk about some of those, and I think you're going to maybe appreciate these numbers a little bit more because of the meaning they have to the players that wear them. First, we're going to start off with number 7. Now, Ben Roethlisberger, the renowned quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, chose to wear the number 7 jersey throughout his illustrious career. His decision to don this particular number stemmed from his deep admiration for legendary quarterback John Elway of the Denver Broncos, who played, about a generation before Roethlisberger. I don't believe they ever faced against each other. I believe Elway retired at the end of the 1990s, and Roethlisberger didn't come in the NFL until 2004. So there's probably a 5 or 6 years of separation here. Now, Elway was a 2-time Super Bowl champion and Hall of Famer. He served as a role model for Roethlisberger, and wearing Elway's number 7 jersey was a way for Roethlisberger to express and respect, to emulate his idol. Now, Roethlisberger's admiration for Elway extended beyond just the number choice. He adopted many of Elway's playing styles and leadership qualities, striving to replicate Elway's success on the field. Roethlisberger's dedication to honoring Elway's legacy is evident throughout his career, both by extending plays with his feet and escaping the pocket and being hard to tackle and trying to get those tough yards when you have to. And the number 7 jersey became synonymous with his own accomplishments. At the root, though, Elway had an interesting story on why he wore number 7. When John arrived to play at Stanford, he was disappointed to find out that the number 11 that he had worn in high school was not available. The only numbers available to quarterbacks at Stanford at the time that were legal were the numbers 7 and 12, and Elway opted for the less common 7. Now, it seemed like all of the top NFL quarterbacks of the 70s had wore number 12. Joe Namath, Roger Staubach, Bob Greasy, Terry Bradshaw, and Ken Stabler. And these guys accounted for 9 of the first 14 Super Bowls as the starting quarterbacks. But Elway wanted to buck that trend and not be the common being number 12. He wanted to sort of be his own man, wearing number 7. So scarcity and uniqueness. Elway appreciated that number 7 was not widely used among athletes at the time, and he felt it gave him a distinct identity and set him apart from the others. It was his personal preference. Elway just simply liked the number 7. After all, it's a lucky number, and he found it aesthetically pleasing, and he felt a connection to number 7, and boy did he play like he did. So 2 great quarterbacks wearing number 7, 2 different stories for a common number. How about some modern day numbering? That's for DeAndre Hopkins wearing number 10. Now, he chose his number 10 when he went to the Arizona Cardinals after a trade as a reminder to somebody important to him. Hopkins tweeted after he was traded that he chose the number as a reminder of his cousin, who chose a lifestyle of selling drugs and doing some other nefarious activity. He got busted and was sentenced to serve 10 years in prison for the crime. It was a pivotal moment in time for DeAndre, who was a little bit younger than his cousin, who made a decision right there and then to concentrate on playing football rather than going into some, let's say, illegal activities like his cousin had. So he went to Clemson and eventually into the NFL with that drive to be a professional football player. That number 10 represents the honor not only to his cousin, but to the choice that he personally made to go the straight and narrow and to do something with his life. Great story there. How about another modern day player? Probably the best in football at this time, Patrick Mahomes, wearing the number 15, star quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a kind of a unique number, that number 15, and he wears it for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a symbol of new beginnings. When Mahomes joined the Chiefs in 2017, his preferred number 5 was already taken by Cairo Santos. Instead of choosing another commonly used number, Mahomes opted for 15, signifying his readiness to embrace a new chapter in his football career. There's a distinct identity as Mahomes recognized that 15 was an unconventional number for a quarterback, and he welcomed the opportunity to stand out from his peers. The number became a symbol of his individuality and the daring style of play that he exhibits. Now, Mahomes has mentioned that he has always had a personal connection to the number 15. He believes it represents his creativity, adaptability, and ability to make big plays on the field. Over the years, Mahomes has made the number 15 his own, etching his name among the NFL's elite quarterbacks. The number has become synonymous with his exceptional talent, unwavering determination, and ability to lead his team to victory. And there's no doubt, when you say number 15 in the NFL nowadays, it means Patrick Mahomes. He has owned that number. But maybe one of the best stories and most fitting tributes to a number was one that a legendary Oakland Raiders player wore. Jim Otto had donned the number 50 while he played in college for the Miami Hurricanes. As a pro, he changed it up a little bit and wore jersey number 00s for two primary reasons. First of all, it represented Otto's nickname, which was Otto, a play on his last name and the number 0. The 00 effectively reinforced his nickname and added a distinctive flair to his on-field persona. And if you sit there and you take those zeros and turn them into O's, Otto starts with O, ends with O. You put a couple T's in between, he got his last name on there. And the number 0 was relatively uncommon in football at the time. As a matter of fact, it was legal soon after that he wore it in the NFL till just recently. So probably about 50 years it was not allowed to be worn in the NFL. And Otto's consistent performance and intimidating presence made him synonymous with the number. It became a symbol of his dominance and unwavering dedication to the game. Otto's choice of 00 was unconventional, but yet memorable. We still remember it to this day, reflecting on his personality, solidifying his place as one of the greatest, most recognizable figures in Raiders history. And when you see that 00 in black and silver, you know that's Jim Otto. The number became so closely associated with Jim that the team has retired the number to this day, even when its legality came back around. So there you have it. There's some great stories on jersey numbers and why players chose them. And we'll try to have some more of these come up here over the span of time here. And I hope you enjoyed it. We're sure glad you were able to join us for a little bit of football history, talk about some jersey numbers and some real good things. We'd love to have you join us on our newsletter, or just come on over to the website, Pigskin Dispatch and JerseyDispatch.com, and listen to the podcast as it comes out. Make sure you save it on your favorites for your podcasts, and we'll let you know when it comes out each and every time by the newsletter or on PigskinDispatch.com. Until next time, everybody, have a great Gridiron Day. Peeking up at the clock, the time's running down. We're going to go into victory formation, take a knee, and let this baby run out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back tomorrow for the next podcast. We invite you to check out our website, PigskinDispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. PigskinDispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. A special thanks to the talents of Mike and Gene Monroe, as well as Jason Neff for letting us use their music during our podcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Have you ever noticed that the lower jaw is not protected in sports? Did you know that 10,800 concussions will happen today? This has been an upward trend for the past 50 years. I'm Dr. Michael Hutchison, a practicing neuromuscular dentist. When my son wanted to participate in football and rugby, I was afraid he was going to get a concussion. That fear led me to finding the missing link to reducing concussions. The fact is, the only part of the skull that is not protected in sports is the lower jaw. If you want to drastically reduce concussions, there are 3 basic jaw positions that affect concussions, and 2 of them are not good. The correct one is called physiologic jaw position. It will dissipate the force away from the brain. Knowing that, I designed an appliance that put my son's jaw in the right place, and as a result, he was concussion-free from 5th grade all the way to senior year. This jaw position takes those 10,800 concussions today down to 28. It's the key to concussion protection, As a parent, this is what you need to know. It's extremely important that the device you are using is on the lower jaw. Thickness of the device is important. Most importantly, it must position and hold you in your own unique, personal, physiologic jaw position. So if your child goes out on the field with the correct jaw position, your son or daughter will not one of those 10,800 concussions today. Get yours today at powerplusmouthguard.com. Use the promo code POWERUP2023 for 10% off.